Reverse psychology, guys, right? Reverse psychology. Because when I say you guys can go home, every Greek will be like, no! We came all the way to Troy to win glory for you, Agamemnon. We're going to fight to the death to ensure that you get your glory, Agamemnon. We don't want to go home. Don't make us go home. We're going to fight, okay? So that's the plan. And of course, it backfires. And when people hear, oh, we go home, they all run away. And Agamemnon's like, he now is cognitive dissonance. He's like, what? What? He doesn't understand what's going on, okay? And at this point in the story, the war should be over because all the Greeks just went home. And again, what happens is Odysseus will come and save everyone because he will recognize that Agamemnon is just being stupid and he will force all the Greeks to return back to their post, okay? All right, so Ivory, can you read, please? Testing his men.
Testing his men, but he only made the spirit race inside their chests, all the rank and file who'd never heard his plan. And the whole assembly surged like big waves at sea, the Icarian Sea when east and south winds drive it on, blasting down in force from the clouds of Father Zeus, or when the west wind shakes the deep-standing grain with hurricane gusts that flatten down the stalks. So the massed assembly of troops was shaken now. They cried in alarm and charged towards the ships, and the dust went whirling up from under rushing feet as the men jostled back and forth, shouting orders. Grapple the ships, drag them down to the bright sea, clean out the launching channels. Shrill shouts hitting the heavens, fighters racing for home, knocking the blacks out underneath the holes.
Okay, so this just shows you how stupid Agamemnon is. Because Agamemnon thinks that his soldiers actually want to fight this war. But all the soldiers are homesick. They're sick of this stupid war. They don't even know why they're in this war. Okay? So the moment that Agamemnon says, you guys can go home, they're all like, we're going to get home as soon as possible. Okay? They missed their wives, they missed their children. All right? So Aphrodite and Hera are up in the sky, okay, Mount Olympus, and they watch us and like, oh my God, Agamemnon's going to lose us this war. What a moron. And Hera says to Athena, oh, sorry. It's not actually Hera and Aphrodite, it's Hera and Athena, because they're the ones who lost the contest to Aphrodite, okay? But Hera says to Athena, you get down there, man, and you stop this, okay? So Athena rushes down and he talks to Odysseus, okay? All right, can you read?
And now they might have won their journey home, the men of Argos fighting the will of fate. Yes, if Hera had not alerted Athena. Inconceivable. Child of Zeus, whose battle shield is thunder, tireless one, Athena. What, is this the way? All the Argives flying home to their fatherland, sailing over the seas brought back, leaving Priam and all the men of Troy a trophy to glory over, Helen of Argos, Helen for whom so many Argives lost their lives in Troy, far from native land. Go, range the ranks of Achaeans armed in bronze. With your winning words, hold back each man you find. Don't let them haul their rolling ships to sea.
Okay, keep on reading.
The bright-eyed goddess Pallas lost no time. Down she flashed from the peaks of Mount Olympus, quickly reached the ships and found Odysseus first, a mastermind like Zeus, still standing fast. He had not laid a hand in his black-benched hull, such anguish racked from his heart and fighting spirit. Now close beside him the bright-eyed goddess stood and urged him on. Royal son of Laertes, Odysseus, great tactician. What, is this the way?
Okay, so everyone's trying to go home, and you would think that Odysseus would be the first person to get on a ship to go back to see his son and his wife, okay? But he's standing there, he's kind of confused, all right? So he's like, this doesn't make any sense to me. Why would Agamemnon do this? But at the same time, it sort of shows you that he actually doesn't really want to go home, right? Because if he really wanted to go home, he'd be home by now. Keep on going.
All you Argives flying home to your fatherland, tumbling into your oar-swept ships, leaving Priam and all the men of Troy a trophy to glory over.
Helen of Argos.
Helen of Argos, Helen for whom so many Argives lost their lives in Troy, far from native land. No, don't give up now. Range the Achaean ranks. With your winning words, hold back each man you find. Don't let them haul their rolling ship to sea. He knew the goddess's voice. He went on a run, flinging off his cape as Eurybates picked it up, the herald of Ithaca always at his side. Coming face to face with Atrides Agamemnon, he relieved him of his father's royal scepter. Its power could never die, and grasping it tightly off, he strode to the ships of Argives armed in bronze.
Okay, so he's now going to single-handedly save the Greeks from losing this war, okay? So, Athena, right? Athena is always part of Odysseus. It's part of his soul, right? The intuition. And his intuition tells him, there's something wrong here. I need to stop this, okay? Also, look at Agamemnon. Agamemnon is frozen. He is so distraught. He's shut down, okay? His brain has stopped working. It's frozen because this is not supposed to happen, right? When he says that you guys can go home, he wanted everyone to say, no, we're going to stay and fight for you, Agamemnon. All right, so it's cognitive dissonance. It's so much cognitive dissonance that when Odysseus takes the royal scepter, Agamemnon doesn't even notice. The royal scepter is part of his soul, right? It's his legacy. It's what gives him authority. He's the king of kings. And Odysseus just takes the crown from him and says, like, no, I'm the king for now to save this war. Okay? And it just shows you how committed Odysseus is to winning this war. He really believes that this war is about justice, about family, about building a legacy for his son. So he refuses to lose this war. All right? Keep on going.
I thought I...
Oh, sorry. Yeah. All right. All right. So, but that's the Iliad. Okay? And again, what will happen is that Odysseus will win this war and he will win eternal glory for himself with a stratagem of the Trojan horse. Right? Now we go to the Odyssey. And in the Odyssey, we don't actually meet Odysseus for many books. Okay? It's only towards the middle that we meet Odysseus. In the first few books, it's a story of Telemachus and his journey to find his father. Okay? And when we meet Odysseus, he's a very different person from the Iliad. Remember, in the Iliad, he is trying to win this war. He's very energetic. He's galvanized. He's very heroic. Okay, but when we see him in the Odyssey, he's a changed person. In fact, he's a broken person. So what's happening is that Odysseus and his crew try to go home, and they get lost at sea. They have many adventures, and they get shipwrecked on an island. And he becomes the sex toy, okay, literally a sex toy of a goddess named Calypso. All right. So basically, he's getting raped every day at night, and then he goes to the beach and he cries. Okay. So he's a prisoner of Calypso for many years, and the gods, Zeus, Athena, they get together and say, you know what, we can't have this happen anymore. Okay. Odysseus needs to go home. So they send Hermes to tell Calypso, you have to send Odysseus home. The gods will it. And Calypso says, sure, why not? Okay, so can you read?
With that, the powerful giant killer sped away.
Okay, so it's Hermes. Okay, so Hermes has told Calypso, you have to let this guy go.
The queenly nymph sought out the great Odysseus, the commands of Zeus still ringing in her ears, and found him there on the headland, sitting, still, weeping, his eyes never dry, his sweet life flowing away with the tears he wept for his foiled journey home, since and then no longer pleased. So
he's sitting, he's still, he's weeping. His eyes never dry. And all he's thinking about is the past, okay? This is clear signs of depression, PTSD, okay? Keep on going.
In the night, true, he'd sleep with her in the arching cave. He had no choice. Unwilling lover alongside lover all too willing. But all his days he sit on rocks and beaches, wrenching his heart with sobs and groans in anguish, gazing out over the barren sea through blinding tears. Okay, so he's a broken man. He's a very different person from the Iliad. Okay, so now the question then is, why? What happened to him? All right? So Calypso says to Odysseus, you know what?
it's been great having a sex toy, but the gods insist that you have to go home.